everyone, John Henry here, slingshotfutures.com, and welcome to the Market Mindset, where we take a look at the psychology behind the moves today so we can better understand tomorrow. And today, we're taking a look at the FGBL, that is the Bund futures. Now, the Bund futures is on the Eurex exchange, if you're not familiar with it, and it's a great market. A lot of times, it doesn't really end up going much of anywhere, but it has some good movement inside of the ranges that it tends to make. Now, again, we're not awake at, 2, 3 in the morning, so we start our day at 8 o'clock, and from there we look on forward. Now, the overall trend so far to start the day off is bearish, but there's a little bit of a caveat to that. We opened up with a gap higher, they pulled down to the moving average, found a beautiful bounce up, and then collapsed back down to a new low. And that slight variation of a downtrend tells us that we're more likely to have a range form, or at least beginning of a range form, than we are a strong trend. If this were to have opened up here and just dropped straight down, you have a good likelihood of continuation and a strong bear trend on your hands, but that didn't happen. We started off with a move down, then to a new high, then to a new low. That's the start of a possible range. Now, you can't jump in too early. If you're too early to the party, it tends to get it tends to burn you, right? So because of that, you got to wait for a little bit of information. Now, the nice thing about coming in a little bit later at 8 o'clock rather than trading the European session, we came in while that information was forming. So we have a nice rally back up. They get stuck around the moving average for a little bit, and we get a very strong bear signal down, and that's consecutive, right? 3 massively bearish signals to the downside telling sellers, hey, you should jump into the downside because it's probably going to fall. Every single one of them ended up being a trap, right? And that's a big clue, because not only are sellers getting trapped in, but the buyers haven't had a chance to jump in above that trapping candle. We trap the bears here, it never triggers above. We trap the bears here, never triggers above. We get a trap for the bears here. Now we have 3 times that the bears have been trapped, and now we finally trigger higher, and that is the signal to jump in long and ride the move back up towards that prior range high. Beautiful move, nice and easy, right back up to those highs. And once we hit the highs, we get a doji formation. Bears come in, bulls come in, another nice little move, and a strong bear candle. Arguably, I'm sure some sellers will have taken that. And that's a nice candle. I can't really argue with it. The thing that I don't like about it is that it made a higher high, and it's right around that same area. So, arguably you could take it, but it's really kind of the first attempt down. And you know me, I'm not a big fan of being the first one to the party. So waited for a strong bull candle that traps in the buyers, turns back down, and shoves their stop right down their throat for a nice easy move back down to the lows. Now we get down to the lows, and we don't hit the overall low. We actually hit kind of a sub-low down here, where we had that little peak bottom. They broke out. That was a fake out, obviously, given the reaction. When they came back to it, they responded very aggressively once again, and that allows the buyers to jump on in. The sellers try taking back control. Complete failure, turns back up into a strong bull, and then it's just races, right? All over the place, just a race right to the upside, and the buyers swarm it back up. So just a phenomenal day of price action on the Bund. In overall, really good price action today. It's kind of nice seeing the markets move again. The morning sessions for the US have been very slow and a little bit grindy, and it's definitely a good thing to kind of see that volatility come back a little bit. So hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you found it useful. Hopefully you found it interesting, maybe a little bit entertaining, and we'll see you next time.